Well, half of the good and half is the bad. The reason that I got was uh, is to be able to play to be because of my mother and father. If I came home, okay, if I didn't get something good and then for the cold things, then my mother and father would do something to hit me, and that would be my mother. Because me and my father were afraid of her. But we had a football coach called Johnny Hanses. Now this is my man that did everything for me, and the reason when school was over, I went to Blakely High School down right where I played football. Blakely High School was the smallest school and the biggest school from Archibald down into the cities. Uh, Johnny was something that if you did wrong, he didn't say, "I'm going to do something and go." He'd kick your ass and kick and every other thing down there. But every Saturday, every week in the summer when I went down there, I took different things off of him. So one of them was we had I came down when I started the football player, and I said, John, I said, look at this book, and I said I did it to see that everything else is in there, and he looked at it, and he says, well, what do you want to do? And I said, look at it, my book, and tell me what I have to do to make it better. So he was up there and he was looking at, and at the end he said, what may he do for you? And I looked at him and he said, Billy, he said, you don't know football. And I said, what do you mean? He said, you do anything good that's going to make you football a player or a coach. And I said, what do I have to do? And well, he looked over his shoulder and he had, no, mind you, that book was this book. And this I'll tell Kel's coaches today that are doing it. He looked at it, took it over, and he took the book, opened it up, and he threw it back, and all my work went to hell. And I looked at him. I says, John, I said, I worked everything I could possibly do to win. And he looked at me and he says, no, you didn't. And I said, I did. He said, no, you did not make your kids to win. And I said, why? He says, two things. Block, tackles. The hell with anything else. He says, do that. He says, and do everything in the world. And I was walking, and he says, and another thing. He says, kids are kids. You're a man. He said, if they do something wrong, don't ever walk away and let him not be told or talked to. If he gets anything like that, walk out, jog, would go and get him. And he told every of his most of the dogs there, they don't like to make kids to be hollered at and racked and knocked and like that and like that. When I came up here, me and my wife came up here, and we did not want to stay here. We didn't want to stay here. We wanted to go back to Binghamton and then go back to Scranton. And when that was, and then we gave him the 3 years, and we said, no, I don't want to go. Still do, like Faulkner. I like, it's in my, and I'm going to be right here, and never, when I die, it's going to be here. So he is going to have to take shit. Thank you. I don't deserve this, but thank you.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
And I hope everybody gets healthy. You know.